In classic YouTube, one of the things that I always loved was seeing people's collections, specifically for video games. And I always thought if I ever had a YouTube channel that I would one day show off my collection. I really enjoyed building back up my comic book collection in the past year especially. So today I'm gonna be going over some of my collected editions, and then we're gonna talk about my singles. And then the homie Eric is gonna do a surprise unboxing of some comics that he might not really remember what is there, but we're gonna see what he has in store. I'm not gonna go over everything here. I'm gonna limit myself to, I could talk about 2 things per shelf. Eric's recording, you're able to see the things that are here. If you have any questions, please just give us a comment. Shout out to Jay, shout out to Brandon, shout out to Ben, who always hooked me up with Absol cards. What 2 things to talk about? So first off, on the top shelf, I like to have omnibuses. Other than these Akiras, they're soft covers and they're very tall, so it is pretty tough to have them in a good place right now. I have more bookshelves, so I'm figuring it out. But do I talk about that one? What do I talk about? Let's talk about Scalp. This one is Jason Aaron. This is our main character, Dash. Dash grew up on a reservation and he left when he was about 13 years old. He comes back on the reservation and he starts to act as a double agent for Red Crow. So Red Crow thinks that he is working for him as a police officer, but Dash is both working for the reservation police as well as the FBI. It gets very messy very quick. I flew through this. The thing is, it's like Breaking Bad. Like, it is sad and tough, but beautiful at the same time, and you just can't look away, which I think is really awesome. Let me talk about Akira then as well. Akira, there are 6 of these. This really defined a lot of modern pop culture. Even Kanye, you know, the man who shall not be named, even Kanye bases a lot of his fashion off of Akira. If you've never read Akira or you have the question, who is Akira? This is the perfect set to just figure that out right there. It is Neo Tokyo, and all of a sudden there's an apocalyptic event. I think it's really cool. I think Eric should read it, honestly. I want Eric to read a lot of manga. I want Eric to read anime or watch anime and read some manga, but we'll get to that someday. My favorite format by far gotta be compendiums or trade paperbacks. So what are the 2 I want to talk about? Let's go Milestone, okay? I'm lending the first Milestone one to Brooks, my homie Brooks currently. This is when Milestone and the DC universe ended up crossing over. So it is basically the entire event that is happening here. If you've never heard of Milestone, you might be familiar with names like Static, right? Static Shock, if you've ever seen that cartoon. Static comes from Milestone. Milestone working with an imprint for DC. So we have awesome characters. This is my favorite, Hardware. This was his boss, but he ended up working for him. He broke through a glass ceiling because he was being taken advantage of, and he's kind of like this universe's Iron Man. So Milestone is great just because they have a lot of diversity in the type of characters. There was a Big Bang event, and there are these gangs that were fighting each other. After the Big Bang, a lot of people got powers. So these people, Blood Syndicate, they're a gang, and they all have powers. It's insane. It's a lot of these 2 on the back, like you'll see that it just shows you everything that's in here. So Blood Syndicate, Static, Icon, which is super dope. He's an alien that crash landed on Earth, and then he took the form of a slave. So he grew up as a slave, and then like he's basically immortal, and so he lives through transatlantic slave trade, and it's just very fascinating. Great commentary. There are 5 of them in total, and I just pre-ordered number 5 because my fun budget money reset for the month, so I'm super excited for it. Okay, Walking Dead. This one is mature, definitely mature, rated M for mature. I'll cover that up. That's where it looks, boom, there we go. And I think the biggest theme about The Walking Dead is what Rick says when he says that we are the Walking Dead. So it is really less about the zombies, and then it's more about what do humans become in ultimate peril and danger. And I think it's very fascinating, especially on each of these where you see the transformation of these characters. Each of these has someone more and more heinous. So the first one, we have the governor. The second one, we're really introduced to Negan, if anyone's familiar with Negan. And then the third one, spoiler alert, we're introduced to the Whisperers, which are people who literally wear the faces of zombies and they walk among zombies. Do I feel good all the time reading The Walking Dead? No, but I really feel like this is one of this might be Robert Kirkman's magnum opus. I know, like, it's all opinion if it's Invincible or whatever, but this is his magnum opus for me. It's very dark, it's mature, so viewer discretion is advised. Shout out to the rest of the things there Eric is showing off. Okay, what to show from here, let's show off Moon Knight, okay? Jeff Lemire, and then we have the rest of the awesome team. This one is really cool because it really just moves way more into the psyche of Moon Knight and the character of him wondering who he is. He basically wakes up and is under the impression from other people that he is actually not Moon Knight. So people have him going crazy, thinking crazy, and I just love the art. And it gets crazier and crazier as you move on. But Moon Knight is one of the coolest looking characters that Marvel has ever developed. So I am always a fan. Even though I'm moving through things, I might as well just like show you what I got. I got Day Tripper, got Batman Earth 1 complete collection, Batman Long Halloween. We got Mouse as the classic. We got a bunch of Marvel premieres and a bunch of DC compacts. So what is one more thing that I should point out? Let's point out Rook Exodus. So Rook Exodus, we have the main character Rook. He is wearing the mask of an animal because in this world there's a terraformed planet because Earth ended up going to crap, as Earth typically does in these stories. And on this planet, when you wear the mask of a character, you can actually control those animals around you. So there's someone who can control bears. And then we have so Ursa, and then I forget this character's name. It's been a little bit since I've read, but he's the homie. He was a good guy. And then Rook, of course, is having synergy and controlling birds. I really think this is Jeff Johns, right? Yeah, Jeff Johns. Really beautiful world, different biblical allegory, which always points out to me. I just think it's really awesome. Sorry, I'm going to break my own rule. I'm just going to say this too. If you've never read a Marvel book, The Marvels is an awesome place to start because it's from the perspective of a cameraman who was able to see people like the fantastic... Look at that art, bro. Come on. Look, that's the Human Torch up there. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's unreal. I think Eric and I, we got this in... You remember when I got this? When we were up in that one store in Arvada? You remember when we went on the trip?
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's the one I got it from. Manga shelf. Dragon Ball, and I'll probably get some more eventually. So let me talk about Pokemon Adventures first off. This is awesome because this is the manga. Look at big old Pikachu on that. So these are really cool because this ends up being a lot darker than actual like Pokemon in terms of if we're talking the anime. So I think it's a lot of familiar characters. It's not Ash, it's Red, but we still have Misty, we have Brock, cute little Bulbasaur there. It's a fun time. Eevee, shout out Eevee, that's my wife's favorite. Pokemon Adventures, if you've never read any Pokemon and you're thinking about reading some manga, genuinely is a great place to go. I gotta talk about Dragon Ball because this is basically the Dragon Ball shelf. I think it's 17. Oh my gosh, bro. It's funny, man, because one image to one person can mean something to someone else. Whenever I rented from the library, I would just stare at one of these. We have Son Gohan and we have Cell. I have such a big affinity. Trunks, bro, with the long hair, swagged out. Vegeta wearing, like, bro, I love Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, if you've never read it or watched it and you're kind of thinking like, is this an overrated story? I just think it's a fun time. I think it's a good time. And when you work an 8 to 5, because 9 to 5 is a lie. When you work an 8 to 5 and you just want to hang out, Dragon Ball is one of those manga that I would suggest you read because it's just a good time. So manga shelf, we got our kind of graphic novel trade paperback, Batman Dark Knight Returns, Death in the Family, some of those classics. The middle portion, we have our compendiums. These compendiums, Ninja Turtle ones, there's going to be 3 in total. So if you're trying to get the whole story minus the like little side stories, which the micro series, you kind of miss out. That's the best way to collect the story, in my opinion. That's cost effective. And then up here are my hardcover and omnibuy, and then Akira. We're going to go upstairs and I'm going to quickly go through my single issues and just do some highlighting, and then we're going to do an unboxing. We have 2 short boxes, and my whole thing is if I continue to collect, these are going to still get filled up. So what I do is basically cycle out from, if I really enjoy a story, I might get it in trade paperback form or get an omnibus form, and then I might sell the singles, or if I really am impacted by the singles, then I'll just keep them. And yeah, I don't know. I just really want to be conscientious about space. So for those who don't know, when it comes to organizing your comics, you want to come look at this real quick, Eric. You can kind of see how it's jagged and everything a little bit, but what I've done is I alternate. So when you go from here, you see the back, and when you move on, you see the front, and then you see the back, and then you see the front. The reason I do that is sometimes the comics, if they're all facing the same way, they might end up leaning because all the weight might push. So alternating them just ends up helping. Okay, I won't go through everything. I'll just do some different highlights. We have Skinbreaker. The art was awesome. David Finch's art was incredible. Just a classic story about have society and like, are you doing the things of old just because you want to, or do you try to actually advance society, do something different, you know, get rid of violence, anything there. Punisher, Jimmy Palmiotti. This leads into the current Punisher that we have right now. It honestly wasn't my favorite. Anytime you have like brainwashed Punisher, I'm typically out because I'm just tired of them brainwashing him all the time. Daredevil and Punisher, again, Jimmy Palmiotti, and this is just a fun one that happened a little bit in the 2000s. It came out last year, but timeline-wise, that's when it came out. Daredevil, Stephanie Phillips. This is a current run, which is a lot of fun. Matthew Murdock is now a teacher instead of being just a lawyer, which I think is a cool little spin. This is the current Punisher, and Benjamin Percy. He's doing a great job with it. And I don't know, I think recently in the Punisher, I've just seen a trend of, okay, since he's the Punisher, that just means that we just have to have things like hyper violent, aka it's good Punisher. And I'm like, no, I think the interesting thing about the Punisher is that he's actually not a story of someone to look up to. You know, he's actually this use case of being, this is what happens with ultimate trauma and violence. And even though you don't subscribe to everything that he does, this is how he thinks he's enacting justice against the people that Daredevil's going against and others. So it's not just the violence and gore that makes him a good character. So that's my personal gripe. Captain America, this has been a really good run. Chip Zdarsky has done a great job. And now David Colton is one of the main characters. He has powers now and he can fly and he's going crazy. Like he's like a very, very strong superhero as according to Avengers Armageddon, which is the current summer event. Look, there we go. Avengers Armageddon. A lot of fun. I love this art style. Anything that is more jagged and just action-y, that is right up my alley. So the first half of the box, a lot of Marvel, as I was saying. Logan, this is an anthology series, so a bunch of different artists and writers would come together, and I think Logan is the perfect character because he's lived for so long that you can just hop in and out of his life and present it that way. Shout out to Bad Idea Comics. Robert Venditti is one of my favorite writers. Ordained is about a priest who was doing his last rites to a former gang member. The gang member ended up talking about all the crimes that he's done, and he's confessed to it. And after he confessed, then he actually ended up living, and then he sends a bunch of people after the priest to go kill him because he doesn't want to be snitched on. And the only thing is the priest, he used to actually be in the army and like special forces, and he can fight. He doesn't want to fight, but he can. Ordained is awesome. Batman, Green Arrow, The Question, Arcadia. This actually just ended this week. The ending was a little bit weak in my humble opinion, but the art was really incredible. It was, anytime you see Black Label, just know that that means that's not in mainline continuity, but it's actually the opportunity for writers to have a different interpretation on characters and then also maybe be a little bit mature. Fury of Firestorm, if you're looking for a good DC limited series, this is a lot of fun. Jeff Lemire is an incredible writer. Firestorm is comprised of 2 people, and in this Firestorm run, it looks like the 2 people are in disarray, and there's this mystery character that's also in control of Firestorm. He's his own entity. Kind of odd, but really awesome. Sentry, wildly underrated. This is Alex Maleev's art on the cover. I love the Sentry so much. He's such a tragic character who's incredibly strong, but his stories, they're actually not typically about his strength that is being shown off, but rather it's his mental health, because he's Sentry. He is also Bob, just the regular guy, and then he's also the Void. So for every good thing the Sentry does, the Void wants to do bad, and even more so bad. New history of the DC universe, Dakota Incident. Look at that, look at static right there. So we were talking about Milestone downstairs. This is the history of how Milestone and DC kind of coincide, and I'm hoping for some good ongoings as we move forward, y'all. I really am. Another ongoing, Only the Savage Are Left, another post-apocalyptic one. People on the outside are becoming this virus and they're going buck wild. Dead Man. This is a very deep one. This writer, Maxwell Prince, like if we're talking about seeing a lot of writing in a comic and you don't like that, don't read this one because there's a lot of writing. But Dead Man who can go into other people's bodies and as a dead man be this messenger. Just a lot of fascinating themes, a lot of Eastern themes. pretty interesting read. Supergirl Survive, the homie Eric really enjoys this one. So do I. As you can see, we got Kara right there holding baby Superman. So this is another Elseworld story. Just a good way to expand on some of these characters. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And then in the end, I just have like a lot of Ultimate Endgame. Eric hooked me up with this one, like freaking amazing cover. And then just a lot of Ultimate Universe, Ultimate Endgame. And then at the end, I have like these different comics that I don't have protected just in case. I know it sounds counterintuitive. It's like, well, if you're going to sell them later on, wouldn't you want to protect them? They're fairly protected, but it's like the ones that I have kind of loose that I'm not continuing on. Maybe I'll bag and board them, but I want to save the bag and boards for the stuff that I actually have and own. And then I might sell them, but that's kind of in that section. This box is my old comics. This right here is it Mike Zeck? It's a Mike Zeck cover, and it's just so beautiful. This purple isn't as like profound, especially at our local comic store. It's like super purple, the copy that he has, but I still think this looks awesome. Like putting that up on a wall is great. I love Wolverine. I love Captain America, but that was on my list because I thought that one was a lot of fun. This is one of the first appearances of Black Suit Spider-Man. So Eric just got a Black Suit Spider-Man as well, and that happened around the same time. This purple looks really good. It might be kind of hard to see on camera, but it's man, just a dark purple. It's just good. I don't know. It's just clean. I just really like it. And I got Daredevil. Daredevil's one of my guys, so always get down with a classic one. I got that in high school. I got it for 25 cents, that one, believe it or not. Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, Charles Soule, Steve McNiven. Imagine if you ever read Old Man Logan, Old Man Daredevil, end of the world, everything has gone to disarray, and Daredevil has lost his powers and how that has impacted him. I talked about Hardware when I was downstairs, so this is kind of like my milestone section. Again, I talk about the homie Eric a lot because we ride or die, man. This signed Dennis Cowan Hardware for me, which I'm so dang thankful for. And we got a two-peat because we got another signature. And this is not the one that I expected to be my favorite signature, but it ends up looking so sick. But if you've never heard of Hardware, definitely check him out. He is a character worth seeing, wicked smart, and just really cool themes about corporate America and if you're being taken advantage of as a black man specifically in this context. But for any of us who work 8 to 5 might feel some of these pressures. And so this being written in the 90s and still having a commentary that you can relate to, I think is incredible. Static issue #1. For those who've only watched Static Shock, this could be for you to try to go read and see how you feel. And fun little fact, majority of the issues in this run, he's wearing a different hat, which I think is awesome. I love cartoons, and the funniest thing for me when I would watch cartoons growing up is like, they never change outfits. Like I remember saying that to my brother growing up. I was like, I feel like they never change outfits in cartoons. So I kind of like that little detail of just every issue he has a different hat. Jay hooked it up like some random Spider-Mans from a flea market, which was really, really awesome. This one is crazy. It's a tombstone. So this is issue 400. We're on the heels of Spider-Man issue 1000, and that cover is a little shaky. So I like seeing the old covers when you actually just have a little bit more character and something cool. Like even on this, it's hard to see in the reflection, but I see that Kraven, I'm looking upside down. I see Kraven the Hunter through his reflection, which is, I don't know, it's just pretty interesting. Really cool. I got an old Century run. Oh my gosh, bro. Jay Lee is an incredible artist, and that's what drew me to the Century initially. Like, I don't even know if you'd see like this one right here, this Hulk one. Look at that. It's freaky, but it's beautiful. More from the homie Eric section. Silver Surfer Parable. Stan Lee often said that Silver Surfer was his muse, so a lot of his philosophical and religious beliefs or thoughts are used through Silver Surfer writing. Boom! Daniel Warren Johnson, right? The homie Eric. Again, this is the homie Eric section. We're going to see a couple from them right here. Really good. This is during the big old boom again of Marvel DC. Again, boom. Thank you, Eric. This is so hard. This one I'm going to put on the wall. This one I'm going to put on a wall. And then this is what started off my KKK kick. What? Of collecting KKK comics. Again, thank you, Eric, for that. That was the annual. That is so dang cool. Oh, man, look at this. I got this from I just love that. Look at that, man. The coloring, so good, like that on a wall. And then here we go with some of the KKK ones. So this is Detective Comics Annual 2. And then we got the Black Panther whooping. Why I like it again is because out of all the things you could choose, even in a comic book world, you still choose to be racist and terrible, and you're gonna get whooped for it. So I love those covers. We have the Death of Elektra. Man, it's crazy that I like have some of these, you know, like I would grow up looking at some of these, and it's just really cool now having some of the ones that are special to me. I love Daredevil. I love Captain Captain America. So that's up there. That's awesome. Have like Moon Knight. I have like a bunch of different team ups. Like I could pull up random ones, like random Spider-Man team ups. Again, like I got some of these in high school. What if Spider-Man never became a crime fighter? Boom, he was in pro wrestling. Maybe he would have faced Stone Cold Steve Austin. He probably would have lost because Mr. McMahon would make him lose against Steve Austin. What if Conan Barbarian walked the earth today? I could show, if anybody ever wanted to like specifically see ones, I could show them, but I'm not gonna belabor. Age of Ultron, this was the very first event that I ever read, Brian Michael Bendis. Black Panther fell downstairs, like he tripped down a set of stairs and broke his neck. That's how he died during an apocalypse versus Ultron. Believe me, I have my issues. Secret Wars variant. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I love this cover. It just looks beautiful. And then at the end, we have a facsimile version of the first appearance of Vision. Really cool. I have a Daredevil Mr. Fear. Okay, anything else to point out? I just have like some random ones. There are these cool ones from the early 2000s. Official Handbook of the Universe, 2005. I have like a random Ghost Rider one. I actually really like that Ghost Rider. I wanted to show off. Oh, and then I have my House of M collection. I just need, I think, like issue 6 and then I'll be done. So the House of M is almost done. Those are 8 issues there. Daredevil Punisher, this is the first time they met. And this is an old school trade paperback. Ultimate Fallout, this is second printing, or this one's a fourth printing, but this is with the first appearance of Miles Morales. And then this one I think is a second printing, an Ultimate Fallout. Yep, second printing issue. Why this one is interesting is because the first printing, he was wearing his mask. The second printing, he wasn't wearing his mask. So that's why the second printing is kind of like a, you know, semi-sought after one, which is really awesome. And I love having Miles Morales. I got this with my brother-in-law in Texas, so this means a lot to me, just getting some Black Panther. This kicked off my interest in Black Panther. Captain America, anything else I want to show? And I think that's it. So Green Arrow. Oh yeah, I got this from Second and Charles. It's signed by Mike Grell as well. I got it for like $1. So this, I need to read this run. I've heard a lot of amazing things. Shout out to the homie Ale. Single issues, how do I feel about them? I love them. They're easy to hold, easy to have people borrow. They take up space though, you know, like they all take up space, but I enjoy it and I kind of look forward to continuing to figure out creative ways to keep them protected and to sell and to keep things moving. But that is my collection. We're gonna end this video with a good old unboxing by the homie Eric. But in the comments, please let me know, what does your collection look like? How do you maintain your single issues? What do you do with your space? And let me know if anything stuck out. All right, let's get this unboxing.
So first off, we'll start off with today's little haul. We got the vinyl, the GOAT, Mac Miller swimming. And of course, we got the matching tattoo, B-Mac, 2 of my favorites. Beautiful. That one I've been looking for, finally found it. Couple fun issues, All-Star Superman, just a random find. And then this show I actually just binged through the last few days. Found this one, I'm like, why not? That looks fire. And then we have this unboxing of a bunch of comics. Low-key, don't know what I've ordered. It's been so long. Some of these are like months old. Okay, but look at that. We got a little bat. It's been so long. I literally don't know what I have. It's like Christmas. Let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. Oh, snap. So bang. Okay, Cyclops, this variant issue. That coloring, that combo looks so good.
That is really good.
Also, DCKO, that was one that I read, I loved. That's the Daniel Warren Johnson variant for issue 4. Look at that, that's crazy. Oh, give him the chair, that's crazy. And then we got, okay, and then we got the Absolute Batman, first Poison Ivy, I believe.
Yes.
And then what a fire variant cover that is. That's crazy. Okay.
Oh.
We got an Absolute Batman, Wonder Woman, again, fire cover. They've just been sitting in my room.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Let's see.
We got Matt Fraction's Batman. It has like the blueprint variant covers. I have most of these, so there's another addition to it. I don't know if they're still doing it for the ongoing. I haven't seen them, but I love those covers. Boom, a Batgirl. This was just a fire cover. That color combo is just
it's good.
Money. And then
a
DCKO, but you got Beneath the Trees. What was her name? Sam from Beneath the Trees. All right, so to go off of the other DCKO, we got issue 4, and then we got issue 5 with Batman hitting that on Superman. That's crazy. suplex.
Oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Right, that whole lineup of variants from Daniel Warren Johnson, it's all wrestling themed, phenomenal. I have them all. They're too good. Bang, and then we have one of the funnest covers, I'd say.
Oh, yeah.
That is so sick. You got Spider Ham and Crypto.
Is it like Disney-esque, you would say?
Like the style of it?
bit,
Yeah.
Right? Like the soft.
That's
like,
so good. The donut and the hot dog. Oh,
so good.
Southside Spider-Man. Something from them. Imperium?
Nice.
Imperium? Yeah. Off eBay. Pretty good deals. Combined shipping, not too bad.
Yeah, come on.
What a nice little haul.